So you want to know how the Electoral College works. I know it's a little controversial. A lot of people don't like it. And I think maybe I'll have a way to get you to think of it differently. I didn't understand it much, and I asked ChatGPT, and it kind of simplified it for me. So I'm Sal. I'm with Omni-Versal, the Omniversity, learning things you didn't learn in school. And I know they did mention this in school, but sometimes I don't think we put it into the best practical, I guess the most understandable ways. So yeah, upon asking ChatGPT, it explained it down to making it into a small neighborhood. So hopefully you guys can follow along. So learning about the Electoral College. And like I said, it mentioned it down to a neighborhood of 3 blocks. And again, this is for simplification purposes. This is block A, block B, block C. First block has 50 residents. This one has 30, and this one has 20. So let's kind of make a little bit of the people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one has 30 and 20. I'll show you in a little bit why I staggered it or whatever, but for now, just follow along. Okay, so the Electoral College bases their votes, well, it's based on the House of Representatives and the Senators. And so the House is supposed to be population-based, population representation, and then the Senate is just state representation to balance it out. So that's why there's different numbers of representatives and then equal amounts of senators, only 2 per state. So House and Senate, varies and equal. And so these are how they calculate the Electoral College votes. It's how many House representatives it has plus the senators. So for simplification, let's say every 10 people gets 1 representative. So in this case, the House for block A, B, and C. Block A had 50 people, so divide by 10, that's 5. 5 representatives. Block B had 3 representatives, and the other one has 2 representatives. And then senators are equal per block, so it will be even all the way across. So 2, 2, and 2. So now you add these up, and you get how many Electoral College votes it has. So this is 7, 5, and 4. Excuse me. Making this a total of 16 votes. So in order to win, in this case, this is why they say in the actual race that it's to 270, because it's just past the halfway point. I think 269 is the halfway point, so 270 would get past the halfway point. So in this case, half would be 8, so plus the 1 would be 9. 9 is what we would need to win. Okay. So let's say this neighborhood's going to be voting on adding a park to the neighborhood. Oops. So a park versus a pool. Now let's say first one is, well, block A, block B, block C. 40 are pro park, 10 are pro pool. This one was what? 10, 30. So let's make this 10 park and 20 pool. And this one will be 5 and 15. So now, popular vote is adding them directly up and down. How many for park? How many for the pool? So we add these this way. That's 40, 50, 55. 55 park. 45 pool. Yay, so park wins, right? Not exactly. So now if we go back to the Electoral College, we have to go by this number of votes. They're going to translate to that. So Block A has a total of 7 votes up for grabs. So Block A, the park won. So that means the park has 5 votes so far. Or no, not 5. Sorry. 7. So since the park won with 40 votes in Block A here, that means it's going to get all of these votes. So park has 7 votes. Block B, pool wins. So it's going to get all of these votes. 5 votes. And Block C is also for pool. So that gets all of its votes. 4 votes. We add these up. Comes out to 9. 9 was our magic number to win. So the pool won by Electoral College votes. Now this is where people are upset. Like, if everyone else voted for this, why are we having to do what the minority wanted? And so if we look back at the map, this is kind of what it means. So it was 55 popular vote. So over here, it would be these 50 plus, these 50 that were living here, plus 5. 1, 2, 3. Now, it was more of Block A that wanted the pool. So I know it's not quite equally represented here, but it was a majority of this group of people that wanted, it was 40 of them, so about this much. 40 that wanted it from here, then 10 and 5. So 10 and 5. But if you look as to how much space they take up, the rest of the space is a lot more space. So that's why I think it accounts for a little bit of space that we have. And the way I guess I would think is unfair if I lived in one of the smaller neighborhoods. So over here at Block A, they want the pool. It's pretty crowded here. Where are you going to put the pool? So since you're all the same block, it's all the same country or whatever, you're going to want to add it maybe over here. Or if you wanted the park, well, I mean, sorry, if you wanted the pool or whatever, it's probably going to be put in one of the places that there's space, and there's not much space over here. And if they're wanting it for what, if they're wanting it for whatever reason over here, or block A wants the park for whatever reason, it might be something, it might be a reason that doesn't affect B or C. So I think this is a good way of kind of balancing things out. And I think it just kind of becomes one of those things that you're upset when you're on the losing end, but when you're on the winning end, then you're not as upset. And I guess try to imagine yourself being in the minority of something, and then the majority's kind of picking for you, but it's in a way that might affect you a little more than you think. So I tried it different ways too. So one of the ones I tried was if we didn't have, if the equal, since this is a smaller scale, let's say the senators were down to 1. Okay, so then this would put this at 6 votes. This would put it at 4 votes total to gain, and then 3 votes total to gain. And again, it was B and C that were together. That comes out to 7, and 7 still beats the popular vote. The only other one that was kind of tricky was if we were to put the amounts back to, let's say, by equal distribution. So if there was a certain amount of House representatives or representatives that wanted it, then they would give their vote for that one, and then so it wouldn't be all the votes. It would still be proportional votes. So for example, here, this one, the park would get 4 votes from A, park would get 1 vote from B, and let's say 1 vote from C to try to give them a vote. We'd have to decide how 5 is split. Over here, it's 1 vote for pool, 2 votes, and 1 vote, because they can only have 2 total. Since there was only 2 representatives, they only get 1 vote. So that equals 4, 5, 6 House votes, 2, 3, 4. So 4 representative votes, 6 representative votes, but we still have the senators, and so the senators still goes for the full representation. So Park has 6 here. So Park has 6 representatives. Sorry. So what we'd have to do is A. See, I don't remember how I did this now. Okay, yeah, so slight brain fart here, but here it is. So it was, here's all the added votes, and then the senators were getting the full representation of that block. So in this case, the park gets 2 extra votes, and the pool gets 2 votes from block B and 2 votes from block C. So adding those is 2, 2, and 2. Oops, that equals 8. That equals 8. So that a little more, helping to be a little more representative, but we still end up in a tie. And the one that was kind of tricky here was the 5, so it would have to depend on how they decide to do tiebreakers this way. The other one was where some states have opted to go for the total number of the popular vote. So the state gets the total amount of votes that the national popular vote gets, if that makes sense. Okay. So, for example, block, oops, I'm going to switch back to white. Block A, block B, block C. It was 40 to 10, 10 to 20, and 5 to 15. Popular vote was 55 to 45. So now, one thing they've opted to do is to try to, let's say, is going to make the popular vote. So this one was park and pool. I'm going to erase this just to help us out a little. It's a little in the way. Now, they're going to give all the votes to the national popular vote, so the whole neighborhood popular vote, which is this. So let's say right now, let's say only one of those is participating in that. Let's say block A is, no matter what the number is in the in that block, they're going to go with the full neighborhood vote. So this one has a total of 7 up for grabs. This one has a total of 5 up for grabs, and this one has a total of 4 up for votes up for grabs back from where we got this, the House and the Senate votes. So 7, 5, and 4. That's how we got this over here. 7, 5, and 4. So no matter who wins in block A, they're going to go with whoever won the whole neighborhood vote. So in this case, the whole neighborhood chose for park. The park is getting all 7 votes. And these stay the same, 5 and 4, which still puts it at a 9 to 7. Pool wins. Okay, let's backtrack a little. So now, again, park versus pool. Now let's say block B is going for the national vote. So this one, block A, is going with the majority, has a 7, 5, and 4 up for grabs again. Oops. So block A, park wins, so it gets all 7 votes. In this case, it's going with national vote, and it gets 5 votes here, and then this one gets 4 votes. So now, 7 and 5, oops, 7 and 5 is 12. The park wins in this scenario. Now, the only thing I think is tricky with this scenario is that 20, this is 66%. 66% of people versus 33% wanted the pool, but their votes are still going to the park because of the national vote. So this to me a little bit seems like a popularity contest, like, oh, well, we're not doing the popular thing, so we're going to go over here. We're going to do it anyways. To me, that's the way I'm kind of intaking it. And yeah, I'll leave it up to you for you to decide how you want to take this, but I'd like to know from those of you that live in less populated states, do you think this is a fair way to kind of make your opinion heard also? And if we were to try with the same thing in the other one, in the last scenario, we didn't do it with C, but it's essentially the same thing. So again, 7, 5, and 4. Let's say this one's going to go with the national popular vote. So this is, they still get their 7 for the park. Pool still gets 5 because that was a majority. But then this one's going to go with the national vote, and that's 4. That puts it at 11 to 5. And again, this is an even bigger margin, 75% to 25% that wanted it. Yet you're still going to give all my votes to the national vote. If it were scenarios like that, I probably wouldn't even vote anymore. I don't know. It's kind of taking it away from my neighborhood. Like, my neighborhood has different problems from your neighborhood. Why are you deciding how I should run my neighborhood, if that makes any sense? So, in the end, I guess this was always to try to get me to understand it a little more, and I think I finally did, and I hope it helps you guys. And let me know if you think of a better way, or if there's a different way. I'm curious to what other countries do. I'm very not knowledgeable in what the other countries are doing, if they do anything to account for this or not. Okay, so hopefully this helped. Subscribe, let me know what you would like to learn about next. But I was fascinated by this because of the election coming up, and I know there's going to be issues. There's also a way how spoilers could play in. So like how Robert Kennedy Jr., if he were to pull any of those votes, that can play a whole different other scenario. And so if you'd like to know about that one, let me know in the comments so I can work on that one too. All right, bye.